Hello there and welcome to the Merseyside Derby Preview. Probably one of the most nervous Merseyside Derby previews that I've done in a long time. And we'll get into why, if you don't already know anyway. Hope that you have had a good day, hope you've had a good week. Haven't made videos this week. Why? Because there hasn't really been a great deal to talk about, really. Not in my opinion anyway. I could have talked about project big picture and a big picture. Might as well have just said that anyway, but big picture and all that sort of stuff. The transfer window at the end of the week, this whole domestic transfer window didn't really have anything to do with us, but we can. And the international break, I'm just never interested in it. Not interested in it whatsoever. So I hope you guys have had a very good week, whatever you've been doing. Now, let's get into the Merseyside Derby. Right, first off, before we do anything else, don't want to go into any history or anything about that, about the Merseyside Derby. This is about tomorrow. This is about 12:30 tomorrow at Goodison Park. This is about Liverpool trying to bounce back after one of the worst defeats I've ever seen against an exceptionally strong, in-form, tactically astute Everton team. Probably one of the better Everton teams in the way that they're playing right now that I've seen, that I remember. So, I'm going to go straight into the lineups. I'm going to hit the front line first of all. Now, what I would like to see, Diogo Jota had a very good international break. In the final game as well, especially. I think he got an assist in one game, but in the final game he got an assist and he scored 2 goals. And that's with that. Ronaldo wasn't allowed to play in that game because he was positive with the coronavirus. Jota was very good in that game. Really good. I want to see Jota start. Now, people might all of a sudden think, whoa, well, what about Mane? Mane's back in training. He's back available. What are we going to do? In my lineup, Mane's still starting. Mane's the man through the middle. Mane's the man through the middle for me. It's a massive call, and I don't think that Klopp's going to do it. I don't think that Mane is going to be playing through the middle. I'd love to see it, though. I want to see something different. I want to see something different happen. If it's not Mane, I want to see Minamino in there. This isn't a hate against Bobby Firmino. I love Bobby Firmino, and he did well for Brazil. He's done well for Brazil. When he's been on international duty, he has done well. Credit to him. But at Liverpool, it's not happening for him right now, and hasn't been happening for him for a little bit. I think he's got an assist so far this season. This season is still very new. But I want to see something different. I want to see something a bit more dynamic, a bit more electric, a bit pacier, a bit more powerful. And I want to see that. That's what I want to see from Liverpool. That's what I want to see. I want to see us go head first through a brick wall against Everton. That's what I want to see. And I'd love to see Diogo Jota starting on the left-hand side and Mane through the middle, or Jota through the middle, Mane on the left-hand side, or even Mohamed Salah through the middle. Jota goes onto the right-hand side, Mane on the left-hand side, because they're all versatile. They can all switch. They can switch these roles between them as freely as they want. But I want to see something different in the front line. That is what I want to see. Let me know what you think in the comments below about that. Is that harsh against Firmino? Is it too harsh? Or is it just something that a lot of us are crying out for? We're not going to see Ryan Brewster at Liverpool this season. We're not going to see it. He's been sold to Sheffield United, so we're not going to see him in a Liverpool shirt anytime soon as an alternative. Minamino isn't getting the chance that I feel he deserves, while Firmino keeps getting chances in the starting lineup. And while the system, people always say the system can be built or is built around Firmino and what he does, and he does work hard. What we need is people that are scoring goals. And that's something that he's just not contributing at the moment. That's my only reasoning, is that we need someone that's going to get in behind this Everton defence and pepper Pickford's goal left, right and centre. And I believe that front three of Jota, Mane and Salah can do it. Let me know what you think. Into the midfield, I'm looking at having Jordan Henderson coming in, Gini Wijnaldum and Thiago. Now, before you think about Fabinho, he's in the starting lineup for me, but we'll come to that. Thiago, I hope he's ready to play 90 minutes, and I hope that he's in line for a start because I think we're going to need him. Make no mistake, Everton's midfield has been completely transformed with just 2 additions, with Doucouré and Alan, or Alan, however you say his name. Alan especially, winning back the ball, breaking up the play, does all the dirty work, but is very, very, very good at doing it. Getting the ball back for his team. Moving that ball simply but effectively. So he'll move it onto another one, maybe another ball carrier, an Andre Gomez, for example. Or he'll move it onto Doucouré, who's very good at driving forward, but also a very physical midfielder as well. He's not just a defensive mid. I don't even think that Doucouré is primarily a defensive midfielder. He's just very, very physical, but he's very mobile. He's very good at moving forward, very good at tracking back, very good at tackling, both of those two players are going to be very key for Everton in getting the ball back and moving it forward to their front line to make the danger, to make themselves dangerous as well. That's where it's going to be dangerous for us. But for us, I feel having Gini Wijnaldum does a very good job in midfield, does a lot of good tackling, tracking back, getting onto opposition players, and moving the ball forward as well, either by himself or with his passing. Henderson, similar, but he's going to give you so much more grit, determination, work rate, everything that we're going to need in this midfield, and he's our captain. There's no mistake in the fact that we do look a different team when Jordan Henderson plays, and his leadership in the middle of that pitch is going to be crucial, in my opinion. And then Thiago has the ability to be an absolute magician, to help us retain possession, getting the ball back and moving it in creative ways, either with long passing, short passing. It's accurate either way, but his close control dribbling and getting himself out of tight spots as well will help us. Because I don't think that Everton are going to sit back. I don't think Everton are going to try and soak up possession. They're going to want to get creative. They're going to get their James Rodriguez, Richarlison, Calvert-Lewin. They're going to want to get these guys on the ball. And those guys are dangerous as well. They're quick. Maybe James Rodriguez isn't the quickest, but his eye for a pass and his accuracy of a pass to be able to pull it off and get in a good attacking positions as well. And he's got a very dangerous left foot. They've got dangerous players. Make no mistake about it. They really do have dangerous players against us, against a wounded animal in Liverpool. That's what I want to see in my midfield. I think that you can have the conductor in Thiago, the work rate, effort, determination, everything that you get from Jordan Henderson, and the leadership and all of the dirty work that you can get from Gini Wijnaldum as well. Getting him in there, getting them all involved in tackles, breaking up the play and moving it forward to the front three. That's what needs to happen as well. But what also needs to happen as we come on to the back four is that these guys need to be helping out the back four a little bit more. Now, one weird statistic that I've seen recently, I think it might have even been yesterday, is that everyone knows Liverpool have always had a high press. We have a high press, but apparently this season, our high press has moved about approximately, on average per game, 4 metres forward than it was last season. Now, last season we got caught out a couple of times. Nowhere near as much as we got caught out against Aston Villa this season. Our high line seems to have moved, and I don't know if that's a conscious thing by Klopp to really try and squeeze the opposition, but by moving 4 metres forward, or on average 4 metres forward over last season, is huge. That's a massive... If you hold out like a metre in front of you, or basically a metre, and then you put like 4 of that together, and that's how far forward your defence has been moving forward to try and press the action, but then you're getting caught a lot. You're getting caught on the counter a lot. We got caught out a lot by Leeds opening day of the season, and we got absolutely obliterated by Aston Villa as well. Make no mistake as well, we got obliterated by Aston Villa. We haven't faced a Manchester City or any of those, what are the teams that you're meant to get beat like that by if you're gonna get beat like that. Or like Tottenham, who look absolutely electric with Heung-min Son in behind as well, and Harry Kane, who seems to have picked up Pirlo passing over since last season. So we've got to be careful when we come. This is what I mean when the midfield has to help out the defence a lot more, because you're gonna get Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson flying up the wings as always, and they will come back when they can, but they're not the quickest players on earth either. They have got good pace, but they're not the quickest. Got to remember that Everton's forwards are pretty damn quick, and they're pretty big as well. Richarlison's got good physicality on him as well. Calvert-Lewin is a very, he's a big centre forward. He's big built. He looks like a heavy sort of striker, but he moves quick as well. It's going to be dangerous to come up against. It really will be. In the back line for me, it's Robbo, Trent Alexander-Arnold on the other side, Virgil van Dijk and Fabinho as the other centre-back. Now, Fabinho as a centre-back was brilliant against Chelsea. Whenever he's played as a centre-back, and it's only been a couple of times, but whenever he's played centre-back for Liverpool, he's always been very good. Like, whenever I've seen him, he's very, very good as a centre-back. And while people don't want to necessarily, see... I would prefer to see Fabinho in the midfield. If I could have it how I would want it, I would probably have Fabinho, Jordan Henderson and Thiago in the midfield. Maybe Gini Wijnaldum. I don't know. I don't really know, to be honest. But I'd love to have Fabinho into the midfield. But at the moment, he is the surest choice at centre-back because Gomez, I think, just needs a little bit more time. I think he needs a little bit more time, just maybe on the bench. Also, we've got to remember that Joe Gomez is still a very young lad as well in his early development, in his early career. I think he's only, 22, 23 maximum as a centre-back. He's very, very young. He's almost a baby, but he's still very, very good. Joel Matip is apparently going to be, back fit for Liverpool as well. But I'm not entirely sure whether Matip's going to suit this game. And after being out for so long, I don't want to just, let's put Joel Matip in at centre-back when we know that Fabinho can do the job and he can do it pretty damn well. In fact, he can pretty much do it just as good as the best defender in the world, which is Virgil van Dijk. And I think Van Dijk also, hopefully will have had a bit of a kick up the arse as well because he hasn't been the best recently. And I hope that he's not getting complacent either. Now, the obvious position that people will be looking at is what are we going to do about goalkeeper? For me, I'd put Kelleher in goal. I'm not going with Adrian. I would take Adrian out the firing line and put him you've got to put him on the bench. But I'd go with Kelleher because Kelleher's a good young goalkeeper. He's got very good ability. He's not, he's not Alisson levels or anything like that. Nowhere near yet. But he's a very, very young goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper for his age as well. And I personally feel that if we see the team sheet and Adrian's on it, there's immediately going to be anxiety go through the fan base. It's just what's going to happen. It really is just what's going to happen. The rest of that team can be totally world class. Absolutely 100% world class. And I'm not trying to slag off Adrian whatsoever here. But you would look at Adrian and just be like, that's the problem. That's the issue. It's like when Chelsea fans look at, like, if Kepa is in a starting lineup, or sometimes with Everton fans, and they're looking at Jordan Pickford at the moment, and maybe thinking, God, can we put someone else in goal? We all with Alisson in that team, I couldn't excuse any sort of beating that we would get. It means that you've beaten the best Liverpool team that we could put out. Fair play. But I can if we got beat by Everton, and make no mistake, there's a good chance we could get beat by Everton depending on what Liverpool team decide to turn up. And people could immediately just go, well, we had Adrian in goal. It becomes an excuse, and it becomes something that we worry about, something that we stress about, something that we get anxious about before the game, instead of focusing totally 100% on the actual game itself. You start looking at the goalkeeper or whoever that hole is in your team, and you're going, what mistake is he going to do next? What's he going to do next? You start really getting a little bit anxious about it, and it takes the enjoyment out of watching the game. And make no mistake, I don't really enjoy watching the Merseyside Derby until we maybe go a goal or two up or something like that. This is going to be a very tough game. Really, really tough game. Everton are banging form. I think if they're not top of the table, they're at least tied with someone top of the table. I'm pretty sure they are top of the table. I could just look at the standings anyway. They are. They're top of the table. Everybody else has lost apart from Aston Villa, but they haven't played their game in hand. So Aston Villa could go top of the table as well at some point. We never know. But Liverpool need to absolutely... They need to make a statement. They really do. Whether they do or not, we don't know until tomorrow. We don't know until, the game actually ticks around and it kicks off at 12:30. And within the first 5 minutes, you will know what sort of game you're going to get. You'll see how Liverpool play, and you'll just get a feeling for it. You'll just feel it in here, and you'll either be confident because we're playing, playing some good football, we're getting the possession, making some threatening runs or something like that, or maybe even score an early goal, but hopefully not too early, as they always say, or misplaced passes, bits of pressing maybe not happening, things just not clicking as you would maybe like them to. If I'm being totally honest, I completely fear that we're going to get beat this weekend. I really do. And that's just a very honest feeling. I think that this is the 100% best time or the best chance that Everton have of beating us. If we turn up anywhere near what we were like against Aston Villa, we'll get beat. And we'll get beat handily. That is a dead cert. That is as certified as I could say anything could be certified, if you know what I mean. If we turn up and we do anything like we did when we played against Chelsea or anything like that, or when we played against Arsenal in the league, if we turn up like that, we got a good chance of getting the victory. I'm almost predicting that we're going to lose. I'm hoping that we don't. I'm hoping that Liverpool can come out and really show us what happened against Villa. We're going to try and make sure that that's never going to happen again. And we're going to try and fight. We're going to try and be clinical. We're going to try and do everything that we can to walk away with a victory in the Merseyside Derby. I'm just not entirely sure that it's going to happen. I'll be totally honest with you. I think if I'm sitting on the fence, I'm saying it's going to be 2-2. But I'm leaning more towards the fact that we might get beat. And that's a sad prediction to make. But it's realistic. I can't fake how I feel. I very rarely predict a loss for Liverpool. Very, very rarely. I think the last one that I predicted that we were going to lose was actually against Barcelona. We're in the Champions League, funnily enough. When I said I felt that we could win the away leg. I felt that we could win the second leg, which was at home, but we would lose the tie. It's sort of like a a backdoor prediction of a loss, but with like a hint of a win. I'm not sure that Liverpool walk out of here with points. That's all I'm saying. I hope in my heart of hearts and right up here, I know that we can get the win. It's just, can we bounce back from such a bad loss? And with Alisson not being in goal as well, I'm just not sure. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, what are you thinking? How are you feeling ahead of the Merseyside Derby tomorrow? Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyway, thank you ever so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed it in any way, shape or form, please do like it and subscribe if you're new around here. Please do feel free to get your comments and thoughts in the comment section below as well. But for now, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you have a good rest of the evening and a good day tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Come on, Liverpool. Touch wood. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later.